Hey guys, Nuie here, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Build Theory. So, as I said previously in my first video of this week, so this week's Build Theory is going to be next week's Build Guide, and then next week's Build Theory will be the week after that's Build Guide. And then in between those 2 weeks, I will be doing Thursdays will be my remodeled of the couple builds that I've been working on that, they're really good builds. However, I just wanted to tweak them a bit to make them a little bit stronger and more comfortable towards my playstyle. So that's what I've done with those two. So that'll be on Thursday of this week as well as next week. So this is how I plan on doing the next couple weeks. So everything should be covered, and hopefully I don't miss anything. I'm sure you guys will hit me up if I do, but you know. But first off, so this is going to be another new build for me, and this is based off of one of my friends who's a streamer. Her name is Plush Macaroons. She was starting out this game recently, and she wanted a character that really kind of does a lot of fire damage as well as just, you know, a lot of area damage. She's previously played like Diablo, so she had a lot of familiarity with casters and stuff like that. So I decided, but then she was also talking about how she wanted to make a kind of tankier character or mess around with the tankier character. So I decided to take those two aspects and combine them together. So this is kind of the results of this. So this will be my Hellfire Marauder. So basically how this build is set up, and I will head over to the skill tree in a second. How this build is set up is basically a Caswell channeling flame totem type of build. So basically it's Caswell channeling piece of blast, and then it's also getting the firestorm as well as the extra damage from Flame Totem. So the reason I'm using Flame Totem and all these fire abilities in general mixed with the Marauder class is because the Marauder class has, especially in the Chieftan class, which is what this will be utilizing, you get a lot of leech from both fire damage as well as totem damage. So this will be my sort of method on sustaining this character, because all the fire damage I will do will be counted as leech. So as Firestorm is going out while I'm channeling, I'll be able to leech from that, as well as putting out my totem, I'll be able to leech from that. And then basically as that way I can keep moving through zones and clearing, and won't have to worry so much about kind of self-sustain, because I'll be able to leech very effectively from just my fire damage and my fire totems in general. And then I'll have nice damage for both bosses as well as AoE clear, because Firestorm is very, as you guys know, is very strong for just AoE clearing, and it's actually just a great skill in general for just running through pack mobs and stuff like that. And then Flameblast, or Piece of Blast, is more commonly known, is really good for boss DPS because it does such nice burst damage. So but it takes a little bit time to channel because you have to get up to its max stages, which is about 10 stages, which is increased by cast speed. So during that time, I want to be able to utilize Firestorm so that I can both leech throughout bosses as well as getting that little channel down damage. And then the Flameblast itself will be able to do the burst damage, so I'll do nice amounts of burst damage in between my Firestorm's damage. So that's how I'm thinking about this all working together. So heading into the actual skill tree now, because I just made a blank page so you guys can see it at first. But I have all my skill trees set up. So switching over to my endgame skill tree, if I can click for once. There we go. So this is what my full skill tree kind of looks like. This is the absolute maximum level, so everything's skilled out, 121 things, 121 skill points, because I'll be taking Illyria, so mana regen, crit multiplier, and resist from Illyria. So this is how the tree kind of scales out and everything. I've taken 2 skill gems, so that's nice. And then it's mostly elemental damage as well as just spell damage and stuff like that, because Flame Totem utilizes both fire damage, totem damage, and spell damage. So those 3 combined, and then Firestorm and Flameblast both utilize fire damage, elemental damage, spell damage, and just stuff like that. So then all of these skills will work together well to be able to do my damage as well as give me nice prevention and leech and stuff like that. So at maximum ranks, this is what my ascendancy class will look like. So I'll have Kora's Death Fury, so I get the leech from both my totems and fire damage, and then I'll have Nagu's Flame, so I get increased damage with ailments. So, well, because typically you can get burning from both Flame Totem as well as Firestorm. Both apply burn damage as well as, actually I'm pretty sure Flameblast can buy burning as well, so I'll get a nice amount of burning damage from that. And then this is just for extra armor, extra elemental resist, and extra reduced mana cost, and just extra strength. And then I'm also taking Arahangu's Moon Presence, so that any enemy near my totem will take increased fire damage and physical damage. And then enemies near my totem will also take less damage. So this will help me in terms of boss fights as well as clearing packs, because I'll just put up my flame totem, that'll leech for me, as well as reducing the total damage that everything around me will be doing. And then as I'm casting, I'll get increased fire damage, increased all that stuff. So that's how my total ascendancy is going to work out. And then as the tree works out, I'm just taking all the fire damage nodes, I'm taking plenty of health, plenty of elemental resistance, plenty of totem damage increase, as well as I wanted to grab down here, I grabbed Bloodless so that enemies can't leech from me. I'm taking quite a bit of elemental damage, so spell damage, reses, stuff like that, life regen and stuff like that, because I don't really plan to rely too much on energy shield with this build, though I do recommend running personally I recommend running a what am I thinking, armor energy shield gear, because it's best for sockets. Because you're going to be using a lot of blue and red sockets, those two will be working the best with that kind of gear, because armor and energy shield works off of blue intelligence and strength, and those are your blue and red sockets, so it makes it easier for socketing. I know some of my builds aren't the best for sockets, but they still work out very well. They're good builds, but it's just the socketing is not great. So this is one of those builds that I really worked at. I really wanted to think about how the socketing was going to work on it, so I really took the time to plan it out in that way. So this is a full build. Now heading into like early game build, this is what I was fooling around with. So this is what my early game tree will kind of look like. So I'm getting fire damage, I'm getting nice amounts of resist, I'm getting nice amounts of health, and I'm getting some extra elemental damage, so prevent my reflected elemental damage, stuff like that. So this is what an early game tree is kind of planning out for me. Now in terms of everything, because Flameblast does such nice damage over time, but you have to be able to get it from someone else, because you can't actually get it until Siosa, which is level 30, because Marauder just doesn't have access to it. What you can level with is just any type of the flame skill, so like Molten Strike or what's another one? Infernal Blow, things like those. You can level pretty quickly with those instead if you guys want to go that leveling route, because you'll still have you're taking in quite a bit of physical damage early, as well as just fire damage, so those skills will work well in terms of if you want to just run more melee and stuff like that. For my first Ascendancy trial, I want to grab Nagu's Flame so that I can get up to this Kora's Death Fury as quickly as possible, and then you can head into the other two depending on how you feel. So but that's definitely what I would recommend first, is going to the Nagu's Flame and then heading up into Himorki's Death Fury first, so that you get the leech early, and then you don't have to worry about that. This is what a nice level 40 build, or around level 40 build for me would look like. So I have the nice life regen, nice elemental damage, nice fire damage, so really augmenting my skills pretty early to give me enough damage to clear, but it's not really too heavy on damage just yet. And then heading into like maps, this is how I kind of planned out the rest of the tree, where I'm scaling pretty well. I have more health, more crit, or more elemental resist, more spell damage and stuff like that, so I get all of those extra abilities and stuff like that. So interesting. And then you'll get both your gem sockets if you have them. If you don't have the gem sockets, fine, you can just scale into something else, but this is what it looks like kind of for me heading into kind of end game stuff. And then 85-ish is where I'll start scaling into more stuff, so having more things. I'll pick up some more totem damage, some more life and stuff like that, so I'll be pretty set on everything. And then, you know, just heading back to like just, you know, an end game tree. This is again what I would finish out with completely for everything overall. So as total in endgame tree is about 220% increased life, so it's a nice amount of life. You've got 195% increased armor. You get a little bit of energy shield extra. It's not really important, but it's there. And then really nice resistances, especially fire res. You're going to need a lot of fire res and stuff like that. So heading into my skills and how I plan on setting it up, this is what the skills will look like. So I got Flame Totem with Controlled Destruction, Elemental Focus, and Chance to Ignite, stuff like that. Fireblast, this is my Flameblast, so this would be your chest to be Flameblast, Concentrated Effect, Castwell Channeling, Firestorm, Elemental Focus, and Arcane Surge. Molten Shell, this is just a little bit extra defenses from me. Nothing really important, but like, you know, it's there. So Molten Shell, increased duration, concentrated effect, and controlled destruction. It'll do a decent amount of damage. Now I know this tooltip won't be accurate because you won't have this exact gear or anything like that, but Molten Shell can still do a pretty decent amount of damage. So if you get hit by, if you got like a melee boss and you just stand there and channel, this will be a nice protection for you. So there's that. And then shield charge, because I plan on using scepters with this build. You don't really have the intelligence to run wands, but scepters are pretty comfortable. You can get spell damage, a lot of fire damage, and stuff like that. And they already have elemental damage implicit on them, so you'll be good with that as far as everything. So I'll get shield charge, faster attacks, and fortify, so then you'll be able to slam things that have fortify for while you're casting. You're going to be running a flame golem, minion damage, minion life, totem, L resist, you know, the usual. Flammability on blasphemy support, so that you are, because when you shield charge into things, you'll be able to get flammability around things around you, and then you know, it's just a general thought like that. Plus, when you're channeling, you're gonna have things coming closer to you, so flammability will go out. And then I'm also just running anger for the increased fire damage. So those are my setups and all my skills. And then heading on to the items, I mainly want to talk about like the unique items I'll be planning on using. So I'll have Chernobog's Pillar, Hymnar's Resolve for increased fire damage, Chernobog's Pillar for increased fire damage, nice amount of fire res, and physical damage converted. And then you have Namak, who's Tiki Core Amulet, so 60% increased fire damage from there. And then an Emberwake, a nice Emberwake ring, so even more damage from that. And then Ignited Enemies burn even slower, so even more damage overall. And then for extra flash, you know, just Curious Determination, Wise Oak is a nice setup. So this is how I really planned everything out, and this is everything involved with this. Again, this is what kind of DPS was going to kind of look like. Totem damage DPS is going to be a little bit different because Flame Totem doesn't always show you the amount of damage and everything involved with that. So it's not totally accurate, but this is kind of what the DPS kind of looks like and stuff like that. So this is how my build plan is heading out. Again, this is just my build theory, so when I get to the actual full build guide, I'll show everything in action. I won't cover this too much. I will show it, but I won't cover everything involved with this too much, because I'll do this here so that you get the nice in-depth look at the skill tree and everything like that as far as is involved here. But when I get the actual build guide, I will show you what my tree looks like and how I have it spanned out, but I'm not going to show you guys as in-depth as I'm covering it here. So that's why I wanted to show everything. That's why I'm focused on my skills and stuff like here, and as well as just, you know, talking about my unique items that I have involved with this, and then why I'm running those type of items. So I hope this video was interesting to you guys, and I hope you guys like the build. Be sure to leave me your thoughts on it and all the things you think, how you guys think it'll work out and how you guys think it looks. Once again, this is a build inspired by and thought of with Plushie in mind, so be sure to give her a shout out. She is just be aware that she is taking a little bit of time away from streaming and stuff right now, so she won't be streaming so much. But if you guys would, I would like you guys to head over to like her on, you know, Twitter or something, and just say hey, and say Nuie sent you, and that you guys just wanted to give her your love, and that you hope she's back to streaming and stuff like that, because I hope she's back to streaming soon. But I know she is stepping away for a little while for personal issues, and that's fine. You know, we all have our own lives outside of just gaming, and as much as we love to be able to hang out with you guys and get out content for you guys and stream with you guys, sometimes things just need to be prioritized. So I really hope she's back to streaming soon. I can't wait for her to be back, but this is my build in honor of her and everything she's been doing. So I'll catch you guys all later. Nuie out. Hope you enjoyed. Heaven sent my residence is heaven, just visiting, blending.